Well, good evening, everyone. I'm CBS19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony here in the CBS19 Weather Center updating our thunderstorm situation here as we head into this Wednesday night. And really for the city of Tyler, city of Longview, this is going to turn out to be a big fat nothing because the thunderstorms have already shifted off to the southeast. The little warmer layer of air aloft protected us. The thunderstorms have formed closer to where there is a little better moisture. And so if you take a look at CBS19 radar, you'll see what I mean by that. You can see the thunderstorms are already moving now into Rusk County. They're also moving into southern Cherokee County and just about to enter Nacogdoches County and will soon be in Angelina County. I'll throw this into motion real fast so you can see the general movement. It's roughly from the west to the east across the area. It is beginning to expand a little bit, but again, it's south of Longview, it's south of Tyler, so I really don't see anything developing behind this line of showers and thunderstorms that will bring any more threats to, say, Athens, Tyler, even Jacksonville once you get rid of the thunderstorms, or even Longview at this point. All right, so they're moving to the east roughly 30 miles an hour. So that means who still has a chance to see some hail tonight or a heavy thunderstorm? And it is increasing. Wells does by 7:41, so just a couple of minutes away. Pollock by about 8 o'clock, Dotson around 8 o'clock, Nacogdoches around 8:11, Groveton about 8:26, and Lufkin around 8:30, and Diboll by 8:50. So let's break down these thunderstorms, and we'll move in and go a little bit closer in so we can look at and examine in case we have any hail in there. Currently, the strongest thunderstorm appears to be this one near Rusk in Cherokee County, just to the northwest of Alto. We're picking up on our Titan indicator at least some hail being reported there. And what is the chance? Well, more wind so than the hail. The hail might be nickels in size, but the probability there's some hail within that cell currently sitting at 100%. So that's in that cell right over Rusk currently, moving toward Cushing, Nat, over toward Appleby and Nacogdoches at this time. Moving to the east about 30 miles an hour. Wages saw the thunderstorm move through. It's starting to lighten up. Kennard just getting into the heavier thunderstorm. Crockett had that heavier thunderstorm. We'll go back up the line here toward Laneville. There's also a lot of thunder and lightning coming down with this. In fact, let's check out how much lightning we're seeing within this line of thunderstorms. How about 122 strikes here in the last 15 minutes? Some of those are the stronger positive strikes, 53, and you can see there's just at least in this area, there's 127. If I zoom things out, you see there's 212 across the area. Down, if we include Crockett to Madisonville, now you have 240 lightning strikes. So a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain also included in these thunderstorms. What I want to do is take a look at any hail inside these storms. We'll look at what we call hail tracks. That will allow us to see any of the hail that's already formed and as it moves through where it's been. We'll turn off the lightning also so we can get a little better view of everything here. Just look here, we got a little bit of hail. Not much, it's not that big. I mean, we had the chance to see some bigger hail tonight, but so far we're getting some pea to nickel-sized hail across the area. That's going to be west of Rusk. Back toward Palestine, we saw a little bit of hail, and then down toward Waches and back toward to the northwest of Kennard. So that's the hail we've seen so far. We had a little bit of hail here in southern parts of Smith County near Troop and the Loop. There was some pea-sized hail reported for a short period of time, but I don't see any showing up, at least in our hail tracks. Again, the rain has moved out of the Tyler area, and the threat for severe weather is over. Should get dropped from the severe thunderstorm watch soon. Smith County should. Rusk County and the city of Henderson, you're likely right inside of that right now in Rusk, with lightning starting to increase across the city. A couple of lightning strikes here and there toward Turnertown, toward Price and Pleasant Grove. Laneville, the lightning increasing just a little bit. The bigger threat may become some strong damaging wind gusts, especially right here through parts of Houston County, just to the west of Wells. I'll throw this track on that. You can see it's kind of bowed out just a little bit, indicative of some stronger winds flowing into the backside of the storm. And so if that's the case, then we could be looking maybe at a wind gust that gets closer to severe limits. Right now, there are no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect along this line. So Centralia, 756, as it moves into Trinity County at that time, into Angelina County, just clips by Pollock. Hudson, moving there at about 8:18. Diboll right around 8:31. So that is where we stand currently with, at least there's no severe thunderstorm warning on there, but when I say where we stand right now, that's where we stand in terms of having the thunderstorms occurring. All right, I'll go back up the line just a little bit toward Henderson. We'll zoom in on the city of Henderson, and you can see a couple of lightning strikes on the west side toward New Prospect, right down over 259 Old Longview Road, West Main. There's a little bit of heavier rain from Joinerville. The rain is starting to pick up if you were coming in on Texas 64. Rain is heavy in that location. I am monitoring our Facebook page, so if you have any questions for us tonight, again, we're not really worried about any more severe weather in Tyler or Longview or even up toward Hallsville or Marshall or way up the line here. I'll zoom it out here so you can see Gladewater in the clear now, Jefferson in the clear. I just don't think we're going to see anything else form here tonight. In fact, let's take a look at the National Weather Service to see if they've dropped any more counties. They have dropped Van Zandt County from the Severe Thunderstorm Watch, Henderson County and Anderson County from the Severe Thunderstorm Watch, and soon we should see Smith County dropped. Here are the skies right now over Tyler. They're clearing to the west. So it's looking pretty good looking out west, and so the thunderstorms have moved off to the east. They moved through rather quickly. We had the watch till 11. I don't think this watch is going to make it all the way till 11, especially when you just look at how fast these thunderstorms are moving to our southeast. There is a little bit of rotation in the cell here toward Crockett. Let me zoom in on that area there. Of course, if a cell is rotating, it doesn't mean it can produce a tornado. It may just mean that it's got a strong updraft, and so in that cell, we may find ourselves with a little bit of hail. Let me check our hail indicator, and to do that, we'll turn off our sweeping radar, and you can see, yeah, near Beloit, or Beloit, I should say, toward Kennard, there's a little bit of pea-sized hail. It looks like it's covering quite a bit of territory just along Highway 7 east of Crockett, so it might be almost like it's rained hail in that area. A lot of lightning to support that image that we just saw on the radar. So some heavy rainfall coming down and also some hail embedded in that cell as it moves now into Kennard, crossing Highway 7 and moves toward Wildhurst and Apple Springs. So that's the strongest cell we have out there currently. I don't believe we have any, no, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warning on it yet. Storm prediction, or the National Weather Service may have put what they call a special weather statement on it. In fact, they have, and they're allowing this thunderstorm to move through that special weather statement with quarter-sized hail possible and wind gusts to 40 miles an hour. There's another area, I'll go up here toward Wildhurst, all the way up into, in fact, there's another special weather statement on the eastern part of Cherokee County into most of Rusk and part of western Panola County. So for this cell right here, which I'll circle for you, right in here, there are some wind gusts possibly in here that could be getting closer to 30 miles an hour. And in this one, maybe some nickel-sized hail, about half-inch sized hail within that cell. A lot of lightning for sure with that. So not severe, but maybe getting your attention. Let's turn off the radar here and see if we've got any hail. Indeed, we do. Look at this. Up toward Laneville, we've got some larger sized hail moving into Laneville. Again, it's not severe hail, but enough that you would notice it. It's going to make a sound hitting your roof, and it's going to maybe, I don't know that's big enough to dent any cars, but right into Laneville, there's that little hail core that is formed. And so that's near McKnight, Anadarko, near FM 839. So if you live in Laneville or down on West FM 1662, just east of New Salem, you've got a chance for some hail to move into that area. Recklaw right now, some maybe pea-sized hail moving into Recklaw, over toward Sackville eventually, and over toward Cushing. On Highway 84 up toward Oak Flats and eventually into Mount Enterprise. Let's try to get a track on that. Again, these cells are moving to the east. These hail cores are moving east roughly at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. So as I track this, we should be able to tell you when you might see some of that pea-sized and nickel-sized hail move into, say, Laneville about 7:49, Oak Flats about 7:58, Mount Enterprise around 8:13, Lawsonville around 8:20, on over toward Timpson at the far end of this track at about 8:50. So that's going to carry us for about the next hour and 15 minutes. If that core were to hold together, that is what we would see in those areas. Again, Laneville right now, it looks like that core is going to move into the west side of town as maybe some nickel-sized hail. We do have a special weather statement on that cell. Not a severe thunderstorm warning, but some of that hail that we're seeing in there has a special weather statement on it from the National Weather Service. All right, let's go back to the radar. I'll turn that back on for you, and we can check out some other parts of the cell. Mount Enterprise, the rain is just about ready to reach Mount Enterprise. Again, we continue to watch the strongest cell now moving out of Houston County into southern parts of Trinity County. And as it moves into Trinity County, we'll likely continue with that special weather statement. Let me just show you back here what's happening. Gilmer out of the woods tonight. Lindale, no worries anymore for the evening. Mineola, no more worries. Bullard, your threat of any type of severe weather or hail is over. Palestine, over for the night. Longview, over for the night. In fact, I think Marshall, unless we were to see this line of thunderstorms develop rapidly, it's likely over. Carthage, almost out of the woods. These thunderstorms are trying to move southeastward or just to the east-southeast, so that would take them away from Marshall right now, but I'll just put this into motion. They are now starting to enter the area where there's a little more moisture. The atmosphere is starting to cool here tonight, and so these may get a little bit stronger. They really struggled as they moved across Henderson County and Smith County, and that is because we had that warmer layer of air aloft, and that warmer air was a little cap on the atmosphere, and so now we're finally starting to see these thunderstorms develop a little more rapidly. This environment today, very conducive for large hail. We're just kind of get lucky, and I think you should see this as luck, and maybe not so much as a hyped forecast or something like that. The atmosphere here, if it was May, I know it's March, but let's say this was May, we had a lot more moisture in the atmosphere, we probably would have had some very large hail, especially if it was maybe April. Sometimes May, the air aloft is simply too warm to support really big hailstones, but we can get some at that time of the year. But anyway, this was a really conducive atmosphere for some big-time hail in the order of about 2 inches in diameter. So far, that has just not played out that way, and I think that's good news. I don't think anybody wants to deal with hail damage, and have to think about getting a new roof or something like that. So a little pea-sized hail is not going to harm anything, but the bigger hailstones, of course, were. It looks like we've got, let me check on our Titan indicator here. It looks like that cell has stopped rotating, but it is still putting out some hail impacts of around 3, which is on the lower end, and it looks like the wind impacts also on the lower end. This is more of a heavy rain producer at this time for that cell between Crockett and Alto at this time. The max hail size in that might be getting close to Nichols. The chance that there's hail inside that storm right now, about 90% on that cell. If you're just joining us, let me put a track up and down this line again. You can see Tyler on the back end of that is out of danger for the evening, or out of the threat of thunderstorms. This one is going to miss. I got to tell you something here about, we missed out on thunderstorms because Friday, we're not going to see any thunderstorms here. We might get a little rain Saturday, but the severe weather threat has shifted off to the east on Friday. So while that's good news, it keeps us dry and looking longer range. And I use the long range cycling weather pattern theory. And the next time we have a setup to have any kind of organized thunderstorms appears to be March 24th or 25th, at least that last week in March. And then there's only a couple of stretches in April where we have some setups where we could see either a rainy period or a couple of days with multi-storm days. So this may end up becoming a drier spring for us, something to watch carefully as we go through the next couple of weeks and into the end of April. Pollock, 8 o'clock. So in about 8 minutes, this line arrives in Pollock. Expect some gusty winds, heavy rain. Moving into Apple Springs about 8:10. Nacogdoches at around 8:17. Lufkin at 8:27. And then on down toward Huntsville at about 8:38. So that takes us over the next 40 minutes, again, on a non-severe line of thunderstorms. I'm just going to stay on here on CBS19 Plus on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook stream until about 8 o'clock, unless we get a severe thunderstorm warning. But we appreciate you checking in with us tonight and allowing us to just give you an update on the severe weather chances here in East Texas. Here again is the update on our severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 11. The Storm Prediction Center or the National Weather Service offices in the Dallas-Fort Worth office have trimmed back Hopkins County, Rains, Van Zant, Henderson, and Anderson County off of that watch. I do expect to see Wood, Smith, Cherokee County dropped here soon. Also, Franklin County should come out of that watch within probably the next few minutes. By 8 o'clock, in fact, it might we might see a whole cancellation of some counties to the west. And that might even include Upshur County up through Wood, Morris, and Titus County, just because the thunderstorms, again, have moved off to the southeast. Things really started to develop a little better there. I think the reason for that, there might have been a little better energy in that part of the region, and the dew points were a little higher down there. If you were watching at 5 and 6 o'clock on CBS19, I did show the current conditions. In fact, I'll do that now. I had a professor in college who said for him, if he didn't see a dew point of 62, he didn't think there was a chance to have severe weather. Well, we only made it up to 59 in Tyler with that dew point, and it's down to 51. And the temperatures have cooled back to 72. So that little theorem of his may hold true through today because we just never got the available moisture. Now, it may be down to the south and east, down toward Lufkin and Hemp Hill and over towards Center. There may be a little better moisture in that area. Let me go check out some of the numbers there and see if maybe that's why the thunderstorms sort of followed the boundary. I mean, water is very conducive. It likes to join up with other water, right? So if there's moisture in the atmosphere and there's rain moving through the atmosphere, it may seek out and want to join with other water molecules. So let's check out the current conditions across the region. And you can continue to look at the radar here. We continue to have a stronger thunderstorm again, but it's not severe warned at this time over parts of deep East Texas. All right, so let's see. Lufkin currently has a dew point of 60, so it's not even reaching severe limits, and the Longview dew point's at 58. So we're not quite getting to that magic 62 to 63 that, again, a professor at college, Western Kentucky University, Dr. Trapasso once told me that if you don't have 62, you have a lower end threat of severe weather, and that has stuck with me through the years and has sort of been my baseline gauge. If I see those numbers shoot above 62, sometimes you can walk outside and you can feel it, you can see it. If you remember the first original Twister movie, when they tell Bill the Extreme that his days of sniffing dirt are over, some of that is part of that. He shakes his hand, some of that moisture in the air, you can feel it, right? So he knows that the dew points are a little higher on some of those days. And some of those more conducive severe weather days, you certainly feel that. Today didn't feel like that, but we had such an extreme, what we call lapse rate in the atmosphere, meaning it was warm at the surface, but it got tremendously colder very quickly, just a few thousand feet up in the atmosphere. For instance, if you were watching at 5 and 6 o'clock, I showed what's called a skew-T chart, and it showed a sounding from the weather balloon over in Dallas-Fort Worth this morning. And this morning, we had a temperature of about 70 degrees sitting just a couple thousand feet off the surface. But you went up about to 10,000 feet, and you were at the freezing mark. So it's how fast the temperature was falling. And that lapse rate even got a little more. It grew this afternoon and this evening, and so there was certainly that potential for the larger hail. And we're seeing a lot of lightning out of these storms. Let's go back to the radar, and we'll walk you through where we're seeing all that. There's tons and tons of lightning. In fact, right now it feels like these storms have increased in intensity as expected. We're up to 324 lightning strikes now, and that is within the last few minutes. We went from about 240 up to 304. So lightning is increasing in these storms now as they move into Mount Enterprise and also as they move over toward Nacogdoches and down towards Center. I'm going to try to throw up the Nacogdoches camera for us and give us a look at what the skies look like down at Nac, because oops, looks like that camera is offline at this time, so I can't give you that shot to show you what's happening. All right, so we'll come back to the Tyler camera, and I'll give you another view of Tyler looking. This is going to be toward the north. And as you look toward the north on the camera here, you'll be able to see that the sky is also cleared up to the north. Again, all right, we've got sunset now, so we're going to lose the energy that would have been helping to produce some of the thunderstorms. As that happens, the watches should continue to come on off. Again, Anderson dropped from the watch, Henderson, Van Zant, and Rains County, Hopkins County also dropped from the watch. So the thunderstorms are increasing as they enter deep East Texas. They have moved out of Henderson, so city of Henderson, you are fine. You're good to go. No more threat of severe weather in Henderson. And the threat at Laneville is about to end, but down toward Pine Hill and Dotson, You have this pretty heavy thunderstorm moving into Dotson toward Garrison. Cushing right now is getting dumped on with heavy rainfall. Douglas has a heavy thunderstorm at this time. Nacogdoches about to get into that thunderstorm, and Pollock is about to get into that thunderstorm. Let me see what we're talking about in terms of hail. We'll go up and down the line here and look at some of the hail. Don't see any there. Up toward Douglas and Cushing, it also looks like, oh, we got to turn that on. Okay, let's see if there's any hail embedded within some of those cells. I'll turn off the lightning. There certainly is a lot of, if there's a lot of lightning, there is either a lot of ice or there's a lot of moisture in the thunderstorm. And Laneville, which we were talking about, some nickel-sized hail, it looks like that it's kind of diminished a little bit down to maybe some marbles, maybe some pea-sized hail. Could be a little pea-sized hail there north of Cushing. Best hail core right now is southeast of Kennard, where we have that rotating thunderstorm showing up here as it crossed over Highway 7 and it approaches Apple Springs and Blix and toward Pollock, and of course farther east of that over toward Cedar Grove and Lufkin. So those storms, again, not currently warned at this time, but just heavy rainfall. I'll put the lightning back on here too so you can see there's a lot of lightning with these cells. Lightning, of course, dangerous any time of the year. Please respect the lightning. If you are seeing a lightning flash and hearing thunder in fewer than 30 seconds, it's time to head indoors and wait for the storm to pass. If you know anybody on area lakes, down toward Sam Rayburn, maybe toward Lake Nacogdoches, down toward Toledo Bend, probably want to get them off the water now and not allow them to be caught as the thunderstorm arrives. All right, so we've stayed on till, let's see, we got a couple of questions here from, I'm in Joaquin, Texas. What is it looking like for us? I think Joaquin is going to be fine. We got lightning in Lilbert, yes. And then we have a few other people watching. Luke, thank you. Lauren, watching. College Station, are we good? Let's go down and check out College Station since we have that question about College Station. Going down toward Bryan and College Station, there is a thunderstorm in the area. So, in fact, we've got the severe thunderstorm warning toward LaGrange right now. Northwest, there's Livingston, or Lexington, I should say. Snook, Carlos, and Walhalla toward Giddings and Hempstead. So that's the only severe thunderstorm warning at this time. Bryan looks okay, and the Bryan College Station area looks like it is going to be okay. In fact, the thunderstorms are about to pass through there, and then everything will be fine for the rest of the night. Once you get the line of thunderstorms through your area, you are good to go. Next up, of course, Nacogdoches, and we have that other little bit of some rotation showing up with a perhaps heavier chance to see some bigger hail toward Laneville and Cushing. All right, currently there is a special weather statement on the cell from just east of Henderson down through Cherokee County in the northwestern part of, I'm going to circle this for you so everybody can see what we're talking about here. So there is a special weather statement from the National Weather Service for this portion of the cell. So this potentially has some nickel-sized hail in there and wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. And that special weather statement goes for about the next 13 minutes. And so it'll likely be extended the farther east you go over toward Garrison and those areas over toward Panola and Shelby County into central parts of Nacogdoches County. If you have any pictures of any of the small hail, we'll take some of those. You can email those, weather at CBS19.tv. Love to show those on TV tonight. Of course, Jacksonville now out. Bullard is out of the danger. Tyler out of the danger. Longview out of the danger. Officially, you don't have not had your severe thunderstorm watches canceled yet, but I'm telling you at this point, it looks like I'm pretty sure, confident the threat is over for tonight. All right. Yeah, College Station, you're good. How is Tyler looking? Adriana, you are good to go. Winsboro, Red, you're good. No worries. The rest of the night, the thunderstorms have passed through those areas. The threat is done. The dew points have lowered. It's really all about deep East Texas. In fact, Alto just came out of the thunderstorms, and Laneville is about to get done with the thunderstorms. So it's really going to be the southeastern half of Nacogdoches County, Panola County, just southeast of Carthage towards Shelby County, San Augustine, and Sabine County here for about the next couple of hours. That watch goes until 11. I don't think it's going to last that long. It'll probably get canceled once the thunderstorms move through. I mean, we could see not a continuation of the watch, but and not an extension, but a cancellation, maybe as early as 9 or 9:30. Just looking out, everything's sort of coming together and moving through. All right, let me go and check out the watches one more time. Looks like we still are holding on to some of those western counties. Shreveport has not released any of the counties in its watch area from the from the severe thunderstorm watch at this time. Currently, right now outside our temperature, there's the 7-day forecast. Once you get past today, you got some great weather. Thursday, Friday in the 80s. Saturday, scattered showers are moving through. I wanted to show you something. This is tomorrow's high temperatures. I'd say 85, not really 88. We won't make it up to 88 tomorrow. Tonight down to 58. These early thunderstorms will move out. The sky will clear. Something to think about on Friday will be the wind. We could see wind gusts here, 35 to 40 miles an hour. West Texas, Oklahoma City, those areas in purple out here. There are forecasts, and some of the data is trying to show hurricane force wind gusts of 70 to 75 miles an hour right along Interstate 40. That could be, and plus it's so dry out there, there's very high fire danger at this time. Also, that severe outlook, if you've just have not seen this here today, update for you. The severe outlook has been moved to the east. East Texas is no longer in the severe weather outlook for Friday, so we are not in that anymore. The storm itself is really shifting to the east. It's more so, as we showed you, from southwest of Chicago through St. Louis toward Memphis. That's where all the energy is. That's where all the moisture will be. That's where the thunderstorms are expected to fire up on Friday. Saturday, we could see a couple of showers. I want to show you something on the lunar eclipse. If you're encouraged to go out and see this tomorrow, temperatures will be around 70 degrees at 1 a.m. About 1:26, we're going to go into the partial lunar eclipse. At 1:55, we'll be in the total lunar eclipse. And so, yes, there will be some clouds. I think the moon will come in and out of those clouds. The clouds could also be thin enough that you'll be able to see this sort of eerie red moon behind it, this blood red moon for the lunar eclipse, and that'll be the case still at 3 a.m. And what about Joaquin? Joaquin is, we'll go back to radar here in just a second. Just wanted to bring you up to date that they did extend this special weather statement down into Timpson, to Nacogdoches, and down toward Chirino. So those areas are going to be seeing some 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and also the potential for some nickel-sized hail. And that also would last over into, let's see, let me go back to the radar. Just give me a second here to get back to that. Okay. So Joaquin is going to be an interesting, I got to zoom in here. I think Joaquin has a chance. You probably could see a couple of thunderstorms within the next few minutes. Yeah, so Joaquin could see a couple of thunderstorms. It looks like quite a bit of lightning coming through here. Wind gusts will be close to 30 miles an hour. Let me check out the hail threat here. And the hail at this time looks like it's moving into Mount Enterprise. So the hail, we could see some nickel-sized, penny-sized hail into Mount Enterprise soon. So if you're Mount Enterprise watching us, you can safely take a picture of the hail as it comes through. Share that with us, weather at CBS19.tv, so we can document the storm. We can send some of this on to the National Weather Service, let them know what you experienced. But right now, up at Joaquin, I don't see any hail, just heavy rainfall moving into the Joaquin area, also into Gary City, Timpson, Caledonia, and Lawsonville and Dotson. All right, so there's plenty of rain, but we're not seeing much in the way of hail in those areas. All right, Mount Enterprise, heavy rain and some hail. We go back to Cushing. Cushing, you're about done with the rain and the thunderstorms, and now on the west side of town, it's growing ever darker down at Nacogdoches, but no severe thunderstorm warning on that cell right now. And Winnsboro, again, you are in the clear if you are just tuning in. All right, so what we'll do is we'll send it back to whatever you were watching on CBS 19 Plus. We'll take a break on our Facebook channel here, and we will also end our YouTube stream, but we do appreciate you watching our YouTube stream. You can always subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. You can also like this post. We appreciate your likes, and you can also share this post. If there are any other questions about the thunderstorms tonight, we'll continue tracking these thunderstorms now as they move into parts of deep East Texas. But again, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings. Most we're seeing right now, just some penny-sized hail and some heavy rainfall and what appears to be quite a bit of lightning out of the storm. That might be the bigger threat here going forward, is all the lightning that we're seeing. In fact, our lightning counter says 313 lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes, so that has not changed. All right, appreciate your time tonight. We'll see you on CBS 19 News at 10 o'clock. Have a great evening, everyone.